Hello everyone, Julie Lindsay here. I want to share some ideas with you around learning with AI and talk about the cosmogogical collaboration in the human AI world ecosystem. Now, this is a work in progress from the front lines of AI-augmented global learning. Who am I? Well, I'm a senior academic at the University of Southern Queensland. I would be considered an expert and a thought leader in online global collaboration in education, having worked in this space for 30 years across 6 different countries. I've written books, I've designed numerous projects for K-12 classrooms. My focus now is on higher education and curriculum-embedded global collaborative learning, but also, more recently, my focus is on AI as an equal learning partner. So let's begin with a provocation. What if your next learning partner wasn't human? Not a chatbot, not a tutor, but something that learned with you and your group. Now, this question is at the heart of my inquiry and of today's talk, this presentation. Most conversations about AI in education still focus on use, tools to use for assessment, for writing, for feedback. And I think the assumption is AI enhances human productivity. And this is a valid assumption, of course, but it assumes a vertical relationship, humans above, AI below. What if we flattened that? The idea of learning with comes from a concept that I developed called cosmogogy. This comes from my book and research nearly 10 years ago, where the world isn't just studied, it becomes a co-participant in the same way. I'm exploring how AI can become a partner in our learning ecosystems. Now, there are some foundations for collaborative AI learning through my research. Let me go through some of these briefly. The first one is the Global Collaborator Mindset, and this came out of my PhD research of global collaborative educators in K-12 and pedagogical change, and I found that educators who were willing to embrace technology to connect with the world had the mindset with these 4 attributes: connection, openness, autonomy, and innovation. Then I've taken this, and this is the outside circle of what I'm calling the OGCL framework, Online Global Collaborative Learning Framework, with the centre construct, the interconnection between online learning, global learning, and collaborative learning, with teacher competencies, beliefs, and conceptual change as part of that flowing circle effect. But if you could imagine a world where learning transcends institutional boundaries, and this is what I mean about geographically dispersed partners in a global collaborative learning situation. Learners are facing global challenges together, and basically the world itself becomes a shared classroom. And then, of course, there's cosmogogy from my book in 2016, which I define as the method and practice of learning while connected to the world using digital technologies. The context of learning is with rather than about. So in a practical sense, if we were joining 2 grade 6 classes together or 4 grade 6 classes from different parts of the world, they wouldn't just be saying, oh, this is what we've done, we'll show you what we've done. They would be saying, right, we're going to work in mixed classroom groups on a particular challenge-based project or theme, and we're going to co-create something together, a solution, an outcome, a statement. And of course, cosmogogy is not location-based, and really, whom you learn with and what you construct together is most important, and this is all to do with flattening the hierarchy of the learning in the modern learning environment. Now, I think that learning with AI really requires a cosmogogical approach for AI to be an equal evolving partner in collaborative interdisciplinary learning. I'm also playing with this human AI world ecosystem and the dynamic interplay between these 3 domains, human, AI, and world. Let's look at this a little bit deeper. When we talk about human, we talk about, of course, the learners, the educators, the communities, and the AI domain. We talk about how AI enhances our learning communities, our learners, the co-creation support, the augmentation of what we're doing as learners, as educators, and then of course the world domain, the authentic challenges that we're facing, gathering real-time data, the cultural dimensions. And this is just in a nutshell. There's a lot more that we could say here, and a lot more to be examined and researched. But when you look at some of these the dynamic interactions between these three domains, if you look at the human-AI partnership, there are some obvious sort of elements there that we can look at. The human-world connection, global citizenship, of course, cultural exchange, the AI world interface, the advantages of using AI, real-time data analysis, predictive modelling, resource optimization, things that AI is potentially good at, and in the world, interconnected with the world domain, that we can take data from different parts of the world and bring it together and interrogate it in different ways. All right, so let's have a look at this. And I love these little images. ChatGPT created most of these for me. Some came from other places, but and of course with ChatGPT, you don't just give a request and it gets it right the first time. It does take a few times. And I think I've got one or two in this presentation where the spelling isn't correct. I just gave up in the end. But, like humans, AI isn't necessarily perfect. All right, so, let's talk about flat learning across time zones. Here's where the theory meets practice. The assumption is that AI enhances human productivity. But as I said before, this assumes a vertical relationship, humans above, AI below. What if we flatten that? And the AI agent supports asynchronous learning as a global team. And to do that, it becomes the memory for the team, the mirror, the provocateur. And it can facilitate meta-learning and cross-cultural continuity. Basically, it's the glue that holds the group together. It's the glue that propels asynchronous learning into something meaningful for students who may feel isolated, disconnected, etc. And the AI holds this together. Potentially. When we introduce AI not as a tool, but as a participant, learning behaviour can change. Now, this is just preliminary research. I have not done enough experimentation or research to claim that this is the reality, but this is what I'm seeing in part, and what I know is probably to be true. The older model, AI as feedback or generator, the type of responses from learners, the AI always agreed with me, it gave me more of the same. But with this new model I'm proposing, or this new approach, AI as dialogue partner, comments like, the AI kept track of what we missed, and it asked a question no one else did. So it's going above and beyond just being the one that provides the essential answer to the questions, or the agreement, the affirmation, and it's not necessarily repetitive. It thinks in different directions. And in fact, students start talking to the AI, not just requesting things from it. They start actually talking. They rely on it for memory. They also start questioning its influence, and that's where the learning deepens. Now, there are some tensions here, of course, and tensions matter. Things like who owns the ideas when AI is involved? Can AI amplify bias or suppress dissent? And I think we know that there are issues here. Should AI be trusted? Well, we know AI can't count all the time. We know AI can't spell all the time. There are limitations sometimes, and we need to be aware of that. And these tensions are productive. They also require ethical reflexivity. We talk a lot about ethics in AI, and I think this ethical reflexivity is an important concept and practice. integral practice to our use of AI moving forward. So we need to continually examine our values, assumptions and decisions. And I've got some points there that will reinforce that you can have a look at. But so what becomes possible though when we use AI as an equal learning partner or in a collaborative global group? We can have group memory, we can have ethical provocation, cultural bridging or synthesis, but also there are risks potentially, AI overreach, echo chamber reinforcement, and that hidden labour. Is AI really doing too much of the work that students would be doing? Where's the balance there? And I'm not talking about how this leads to assessment and integrity issues. I'm talking about where should the human take over? What is the relationship here between actually who does the thinking? Who's actually doing most of the thinking? So lots of things to think about there. I just want to quickly show you 3 bots that I've been working with. This is my first little bot, Project Buddy, that I developed. I use ChatGPT to develop bots. I use AI to help me to build the personas, or I use other influencers. There's lots of persona descriptions out there on the internet, so I am grabbing some of those. This is not all completely original work, but ideas have to come from somewhere. This bot helps with group collaboration and keeping track of workflow, but it's a one-on-one. It's not designed for everyone to jump in like we jump into a Teams chat or a WhatsApp chat or a Messenger chat, for example. We did work with this to find that if we started a chat with Project Buddy, we could share it with someone else in a different part of the world by sharing the updated URL, and then they could interact as well, but it became a bit unwieldy. You had to keep sharing the new URL. So that's not, it's fun. Project Buddy is fun, but it's not quite what I want. Another one I've developed is Explainer Ellie. This is a lovely little persona where she's, very simply explains common terms or anything. I asked her what sisu was because I'm currently sitting in Finland on sabbatical, and sisu is an approach to life here, the Finnish people. And she gave me such a great explanation. Well done, Ellie. I love you. All right, so then this one I'm calling an agent. Now, there is a difference between a bot and an agent, and I don't have time to go into that now. But this Contrary Connie has been designed with an enhanced human AI world focus, because not only have I tweaked her persona, but I have uploaded some documents to her knowledge base. So she doesn't have to go searching the web going, oh, what's this human AI world focus? She's got a lot of information that I've written about the human AI world ecosystem, and she's able to provide ideas, construct opinions, etc., or work with the group based on this knowledge. So I've used Contrary Connie in workshops, and she is a great support. But once again, it's a one-on-one. So one person, or they could all be using Contrary Connie and seeing what each one comes up with, or one person could do it in the group and they discuss and adapt to what they want to do as a group. So what's missing here? Basically, I still don't have a fully formed AI agent that will act as an equal partner in a global collaboration. I'm experimenting with some other tools at the moment, and I have found one that I'll talk about it in another presentation that might do the job. But I want learners from different time zones to be able to interact with the agent through the same interface, and I want the agent to be able to augment the human capacity and teamwork, and so that the agent knows who's asleep, who's awake, what they've done, what they did in the last 48 hours, what the decisions were. And the learners who come in early in the day, they're starting their new day, they can say, well, what did my friend, the people in New York do while I was asleep? That sort of thing. Keeping them on track, nudging, knowing the timeline of the project, all sorts of things that we could put in there. So this is a work in progress, and perhaps a shared journey. I think the research frameworks are solid and they're useful, but we need more experimentation, dialogue and ethical prototyping in terms of shaping learning environments where AI is a co-learner. And my closing slide, let's see, the future of education isn't just AI enhanced, it's AI engaged, or perhaps AI augmented is a term that you're more comfortable with. And let's see how we can prototype, reflect and co-create learning environments where humans and AI grow together, ethically and creatively and across world borders. Thanks very much, everyone. There's the QR code to grab these slides in the URL. And thanks for listening. Bye for now.